We are coming to you from the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome in Minneapolis, where tonight Comcast SportsNet presents White Sox baseball. It's Carlos Quentin, Alexei Ramirez, Orlando Cabrera and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau, and the tough Minnesota Twins. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With DJ Darrin Jackson, I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you the finale of this big four-game set. As you know, the Minnesota Twins have taken the first two. They won the opener 7-0 behind Kevin Sloyd. Then they won 6-5 in Game 2. But last night, Gavin Floyd was just outstanding. Went out there, pitched 7 2/3, giving up just one run. Sox won that ball game 8-3. So the Sox come in now, 60 wins on the season. They're a game and a half in front of Minnesota, and tonight trying to square this series up, this big series, with Johnny Danks.
Well, Johnny, this year against Minnesota's had some problems, to say the least. He is 1-1, but his earned run average is over 8. He's made 3 starts against him, one time giving up 7 runs, another time 4. In his win, he gave up 2 runs to these Twins. Lately, he's had some struggles. His last 3 starts, he's pitched a total of 14-plus innings, given up 14 runs. So he needs to get himself back together. It's all about his location this evening. Spot his pitches, keep them where they need to be, and he'll have the best chance he can this evening against a good team. He goes against Scott Baker. Baker's having a good year. He's 7-3, earned run average in the low 3s. He's got outstanding control. He hits his spots very well. But second and third time through the lineups, opponents have the tendency to get to him.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. Big game tonight. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Welcome back to the Metrodome. The White Sox and Twins getting set for Game 4 of this huge 4-game series. Hi, everyone. Chuck Garfien here, and as you probably know by now, the White Sox made a huge trade earlier today, acquiring Ken Griffey Jr. from the Reds for Nick Massett and Danny Richard. Griffey not with the team. He will be with them, however, Friday in Kansas City, and he will start in center field. Now, for Azagian, it poses some interesting lineup problems, but not a bad problem to have. Here was General Manager Kenny Williams talking about the trade earlier today.
I've got to tell you that I don't know that you're going to see the guy from Seattle. I said, we're not looking for that guy from Seattle. What we're looking for is for you to use your instincts. Center field is actually the easiest of the outfield positions to play from a health perspective. I know that doesn't sound right because you've got to go a lot of left and right, but trust me, it's a little easier to play center field. But instinctually, we feel that he's going to give us at least what we were getting out there. You know, in the first place, remember, we didn't have the prototypical guy out there in the first place. And Swish did a heck of a job, and we'll continue to get some time out there. But he isn't the most prototypical guy that you can put out there. You don't have to be if you have good baseball instincts, and he does that. What we're going to have to monitor and stay completely on top of is making sure that he is rested and healthy.
In the meantime, the White Sox going for the split tonight. It'll be John Danks against Scott Baker. Danks very good on the road this year, 5-1, and this might be his greatest road test of the season, winning here at the Metrodome.
I think you can't worry about too much about the dome itself. It is tough. I was asking questions the other day. It seems like all the fluky stuff happens to us every time we're here, and I'm sure it happens to them too. But you don't ever notice the stuff that happens to them. Really just got to try to pitch your game. Try not to let the big bats beat you, and you really can't walk anyone.
All right, so John Danks getting ready. The White Sox getting ready as well. First pitch coming up next. Hawk and DJ will have the call after this.
White Sox baseball on Comcast SportsNet is brought to you in part by Chevy. Log on now to ChevyDriveChicago.com. Check us out today, ChevyDriveChicago.com. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Cadillac, life, liberty, and the pursuit. Midas, for brakes, oil changes, tires, and more, trust the Midas touch. At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, we want to give you the security to experience wellness everywhere. And by Southwest Airlines. With Southwest Airlines, you're now free to be more productive. Visit southwest.com today.
Welcome back to the Metrodome, where it is going to be Game 4 of this full series, Sox and Twins. The Twins have taken the field, and they lead the series up to this point, 2-1. Let's look at the skipper, Ozzie Guillen's Southwest batting order this evening. It is going to be Cabrera, Pierzynski, and Quinton. Dye, Tomey, and Ramirez, Swisher, Fields, and Wise. Starting pitcher for the Minnesota Twins, the U.S. Cellular starting pitcher, is Scott Baker. He is 7-3 with a 3.38 earned run average, and opponents have hit just .242 against him. Just 18 walks this year. He's got excellent control. And defensively for the Twins, your Rico defensive setup is Young, Gomez, and Span in the outfield. Harris, Everett the left side of the infield, Punto Morneau the right side, Maurer behind the plate. The umpires this evening are going to be Bill Welke at home plate, Kerwin Danley at first, Tim Welke out at second, and Marty Foster will be over at third base. Taking a look at the AL Central and how it stands right at this moment. The Tigers took a loss today to the Indians. Royals right in between those two teams, as you see. No matter what happens this evening, the White Sox will leave Minnesota in first place. They'd like it to be 2.5 games up. Scott Baker, last time out, just a average outing for him, 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and 5 Ks. The 3 walks, a high total for a man that's only given up 18 this season in 96 innings. Hopefully he'll be off like that tonight. Let's play some ball. Let me pass it along now to our play-by-play man. That's my partner, Ken the Hawk Harrelson.
All right, DJ, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast SportsNet. And before we show you our picks to click you at home, select yours, as Orlando Cabrera will lead it off against the 26-year-old, 6'4", 220-pound right-hander, Scott Baker. And the first pitch of the ball game, fastball hit into right field. Denard Span, 1 pitch, 1 out. Cabrera now 4 for 14 in the series. At lifetime 6 for 16 off Baker. So the Sox come in at 60-46. Hitting at .266 as a club with a 3.77 ERA. Sox 25-30 on the road, 35-16 at home, and Pierzynski takes low and away.
Well, you may notice, folks, lately the Sox have been swinging at, well, quite a bit of the first pitch that they see. That's because they've seen some pitches they feel that we're going to be throwing strikes anyway, so they're not wasting any time.
Well, when you're facing a staff that you know what, for the most part, they're going to do. And that's one of the Minnesota Twins trademarks. They come right at you. They try to get on top, 0-1. If they throw first pitch strike, they're trying to get on top, 0-2. As that pitch is fouled back. And the count 1-2 to Pierzynski, who is 4 for 9 in the series. AJ hitting it .292 on the road, 8 homers and 39 driven in.
That's funny, though. Some teams really do a good job. Some players, some individuals do a good job swinging at that first pitch. They're just, that's what they do. Others, they get out of sync by doing it. They're not as adept at getting the base hit. But we need to still go after them early.
Twins took in the opener 7-0. Then they were trailing 4-0 in game 2, came back and won it 6-5. And then last night it was just too much Gavin Floyd as he just completely dominated the Minnesota offense. And there's a Matabatacola. 2 down. So with 2 out, let's check out our picks to click tonight. Jimangio, our director and the crew, they went with Swisher. Bob and Aiden, Tatum and DJ going with Josh Fields. and George Thomas down in Elkhart, Indiana. George and Barb Thomas and we're going to go with Alexi Ramirez. Here's Carlos Quentin hitting at .279, 28 homers, 83 driven in. Breaking ball low and away. Carlos 4 for 13 in the series with a homer and 5 big RBIs. There's a breaking ball. Grabs a strike to even the count at 1. This is the 15th meeting of the year between these two clubs. In the first 14, Sox have won 8 of them. Checks it up on the fastball. Baker, as I mentioned, 6'4", 220 out of Shreveport, Louisiana.
Former second-round draft choice of the Twins out of Oklahoma State back in '03.
One, 2, 3 inning for Baker, and after a half inning of play, as the Sox nothing and the Twinkies coming to bat.
Let's take a look at the Southwest batting order of the Twins. It is Span, Punto, and Maurer, Morneau, Young, Kubel, Harris, Everett, and Gomez. Johnny Danks, the U.S. Sailor starting pitcher, is 8-4 with a .318 earned run average. And go ahead and have a quick look at Johnny's Rico defensive setup.
Denard Span, the right fielder, will lead it off. Span 3 for 11 in the series with a homer, his first major league homer. As there's first pitch strike. Twins come in at 59 and 48. They're hitting .278 as a club with a 4.29 ERA. And the count 0-2. Minnesota, a good home record of 36 and 20. And they are 23 and 28 on the road. And here at the Metrodome, 343 down the left field line, 327 down the right field line, and 408 dead away center. Had the biggest crowd of the season here last evening. We're not going to get there tonight. At 42,705. One and two to the 24-year-old outfielder. Out in front, chops that foul. Jerry White will make that play and make himself a new friend. Sox will conclude this game, this series, board their charter, head on down to Kansas City, start a weekend series against those Royals. He gone. One out.
Johnny, nice job pulling the string on the straight change, keeping it down. That's been a problem late for him, keeping it up in the zone, and he's been hit on that pitch.
Here's a switch hitting all-purpose player for the Twins. Nick Punto takes fastball strike. Having a good year at .288, 3 for 11 in this series. And the count 0-2. But in this Kansas City series, we're going to be running Vasquez, Burley, and Clayton Richard out there. They're going to be running Hochevar, Davies, and Greinke to the bump. And that's out of play.
Well, Johnny's throwing strikes.
Well, and there's little sound bite on the pregame show. He said you just can't walk guys here, and he is so right. He's only been here for 2 years, and he's already found that out. That's the first hit and 9 at bats off Danks. for Punto.
He just reached on out and hit the changeup. It looked like a changeup, at least from up here. And if it was, of course, we're going to have to make note. Not a good pitch. It was up in the zone. And we talked about when he's put it up in the zone, he's been hit. So once again, it's happened to him.
He's got to get that changeup down. That's what was his worst pitch last year. The high straight change. And he threw a lot of them out of the ballpark. So here's Mauer hitting at .315, 6 homers and 48 driven in. Mauer 2 for 12 in the series with a couple of RBIs.
First pitch from John Danks out of the stretch, a ball. Other than that, he'd been ahead of the previous couple of hitters out of the windup. So those are the things you have to take notice of if you're an opponent.
And the count 2-0.
Used to always be that saying when you were a player, get him out of the stretch, because there are so many pitchers that aren't even close to as dominating once you get him out of the windup.
Now field swung well around to the left. And the 2-0 pitch. Well, trying to be so careful to Mauer. Now he's going to get himself in a jackpot if he walks him. Punto, good lead. And there's the strike.
You know, so often, Hawk, we talk about how important it is to be able to keep guys from stealing on you. But then what's even more important is not to forget about the hitter. You always have to prioritize. The hitter is number one. Do the best you can, especially against good teams like this, to deter the stolen base, but focus on the hitter.
Punto almost got crossed up right there. He's 5 for 7 in stolen bases. What's this?
He didn't know what to do. It's a couple of times he's actually been unable to read Johnny Danks.
There he goes. And it's academic. So trouble of brewing right here in the first inning. 1 out, 2 on, and here comes the big stick in this lineup. Justin Morneau hitting at .320, 17 homers, 83 driven in. In this series, he's 4 for 10 with a homer and 6 RBIs. Morneau has handled Danks well. 13 at bats, 6 hits. And of the 6 hits, 4 of them have stayed in the park.
Well, he just tried to make it another home run with that swing. Nice pitch by Johnny Danks.
Low and away to even the count at 1.
Morneau is very unique in his plate coverage. Sometimes you bust him up in, he'll take a bad swing at it, then he can get to you. Same thing down in the way. Just reach out and slap it if you make a good pitch on him down the way. Got a lot of good plate coverage at times.
Big rip right there just underneath it. So Danks with a 1-2 count. The big, strong first baseman. That's into center field. Dwayne Wise is there, makes the catch, 2 out. Two down to the left fielder, Delman Young, just 22 years old. Delman hitting at .291, 4 homers. He's driven in 42. That's a good pitch in on the fist. Long peg, perfect, and that'll do it. So Danks pitches out of it, and after one, no score. Jermaine Dye will lead it off. Look at Mauer. Look how much he's grown. He's bigger than Jermaine.
Yeah, it was amazing. They said that just last year he'd grown an inch, even at this age. He's 25 years old now.
Jermaine takes low and away. Dye hitting at .311, 24 homers, 65 knocked in. 2 for 11 in this series, and against Baker, lifetime is 1 for 9. That strike evens the count. And that's outside. I got him listed at 6'5". Pulls the string on it.
Yeah, I actually read an article to where they said he is 6'6", Joe Mauer.
Well, Jermaine's 6'5". He's a big 6'5".
Yeah.
That fastball. That is souvenir right side. Well, the Twins in the paper this morning, it says that they're going to lose Alexi Casilla for the rest of the year. That's a big loss for them.
Yeah.
A big loss.
That ligament damage in his hand that you hurt in the first game of this series. And a finger.
That changeup got away with it. That was well up in the zone. Good pitch to hit. Yeah, Casilla. Some with Ron Coomer, former Twinkie, now one of their broadcasters, and said it was just amazing that how fast he came along as far as knocking in big runs this year. So they change fastball. Change fastball again.
One thing watching Baker is when he gets you to 2 strikes and you start thinking, well, he might throw the off-speed stuff, then he surprises you with a fastball right there.
And well, Jermaine has not seen a breaking ball in this sequence. Full count.
That's his real pitch of choice for Baker to right-handers, especially the right-handers with power, is the fastball outside corner. And as you see, he stands on the first base side of the rubber. So he tries to start it out there and then run it back.
And that's the leadoff walk. '19th walk given up by Baker this year. Yes, 82 strikeouts. And that'll bring up Tomey. Tomey at 256, 19 homers, 59 driven in. And a lot of buzz about the Ken Griffey Jr. trade. That's slowing away. I know it started with me this morning at 7:30. I was sleeping beautifully. I mean, like a little baby. And I forgot to turn my phones off. Boy, they started lighting up.
Yes.
I didn't know anything about it.
Well,
yeah, the only thing in the clubhouse after the game last night, the big topic of conversation outside of the performance right there by Gavin Floyd, was possibility of the Manny Ramirez trade. But they were talking about the Marlins. 1-1 pitch, and it's 2-1. So advantage Tommy.
Yeah, well, you were in that deep sleep. I was down working hard, partner, hard in the workout room, as you know.
Well, I didn't know they had a workout room in this hotel. Meanwhile,
and that's when I discovered the Ken Griffey situation.
well, all that workouts you're doing and everything else. As the count moves to 3-1. Next Monday, you're going to have to get them cut on. I'm not. See, that's the difference. You got to get yours operated on.
But
I don't work out. Nothing wrong with me.
But they're going to get better. Thank you, Dr. Charles Bush Joseph. My knees.
There you see the trade. Danny Richard, Nick Nassett. But right here, the 3-1. Tommy goes through it. Jimmy this year has not been a good crip hitter. And by crip hitter, already talking about 2-0, 3-1. He's been more dangerous sometimes on an even count or even when he was behind in the count. And he cut down a little bit on that swing and hit the ball in the left center. When he's been ahead, most of the time he would swing and miss or else hit it right into the shift.
Now this year has been a lot of teams focusing on not making mistakes with him.
That pitch pull foul as Jermaine was off.
Like that. You know, Jim Thome walks up there, and I've got to say the percentages of pitches that they really make sure they execute where they want them to be to Jim Thome has been higher than anybody else, in my opinion, on the White Sox. They have really executed where they wanted their pitches to be located.
Well, I've got a little bit of different slant on it as far as he's had a lot of 2-0, 3-1 counts this year.
Oh, yeah.
And there goes Jermaine, and that pitch fouled back. Jermaine's hoping we don't have another Orlando Cabrera situation.
Why do you have to go back to first base 6 times?
Yeah, he was a tired little boy.
Yeah, but just like on that last pitch and the one prior to that, as you pointed out, the 3-1 swing, it was a fastball and it was in on the hands where teams are trying to pitch him.
Well, I don't know. That was a pretty good pitch to hit, especially on a 3-1 count. And he just went right through it. There he goes again. And he's just underneath that one.
And they make those mistakes. Outer part of the plate, big part of the plate. And as Hawk pointed out, really didn't matter the count. A lot of times he'd be behind in the count or even count, and he'd have a cut down swing and make great contact.
So once again, we get ready for the payoff. Jermaine with a decent lead over there. Outfield, they are spread out just slightly to the left. There he goes.
We've got it. Same pitch, same result time and time again. Now this really is a risky move with Jim Thome, a big strikeout man standing in the box. Jermaine's not going to steal the base. You're talking to Jimmy. Well, you're either going to walk or you're going to put it in play. Well, he's just as likely to swing and miss. So you got the possibility of an easy strike him out, throw him out.
Well, especially with Mauer. Mauer can get it down there. His pitcher gives him the opportunity. There he goes again. That ball hit hard. Stretch. Stretch. Get up. They look up. You can put it on the board. Yes. A 2-run bomb. Bullet by Thome. And the Sox lead it 2-0.
Now, folks, that pitch was not as far in. You see, it is out away from him. He fouls all the ones off that are on the inner part of the plate. He's just battling with the 3-2 count, and just like that, short and sweet to the point, it's gone.
Well, that's the softest swing he had in that whole sequence.
The only time he didn't have to really try and catch up to one on the inner part of the plate. That one, it was just out there for him.
So here's Alexei. Takes first pitch strike. Alexei 5 for 12 in the series with a homer and 3 RBIs. That 3-run homer coming last night. That's off the end of the bat. 1 down.
Very difficult, as you just witnessed, folks, for a pitcher to throw strike after strike after strike after strike exactly where it needs to be in the spot that you know his weakness is. Finally, they gave in to Jimmy, and he won.
Here is Swisher. Takes that fastball upstairs. Swish at 230, 15 homers, 50 knocked in. And the count 2-0. He threw a lot of pitches in that at bat to Tomey, and they also walked Jermaine Dye on a full count. So that bodes well for us, as that one just does grab a strike on the inside corner.
This is the pitch I mentioned about throwing to the right-hander out and coming back to the corner. Well, obviously he likes to get it to the lefty too.
3-1. And that was the 35th pitch he has thrown now in an inning and a third.
High total for a control pitcher, one that doesn't walk hardly anybody.
And there is the second walk of the inning.
One thing about Baker and his success, when he has the tendency to get deep into games, go 6 innings. If he goes 6 innings, this guy's been wicked nasty. But if you get to him early, completely different story. Matter of fact, he has a 16-8 record in his career when he's gone 6 innings or more. 16-8 with a 246 earned run average. So this is a good sign, getting to him early, which means he's not going to last long. And here we go, we're leading.
Josh Fields will be the hitter. Josh hitting at 235, 3 for 10 in the series with 2 RBIs, had a 2-run double. Takes a strike right on the outside edge. So Jim Tomey, a 2-run homer. Number 527 in his career, number 20 on the season. And of course, with that home run by Tomey, the Alex Snellius family will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every Sox homer hit throughout the course of the season. That is number 148. So $14,800 donated by Alex Snellius in loving memory of Ursula. Big hack at a breaking ball. And the count 1-2. Of course, Ken Griffey Jr. coming over. He's going to take over that category lead.
Yes, he is.
Now, some to have 527 home runs, then make a trade and get a guy who's going to put you in second place.
608 for Ken Griffey Jr. And 15 he hit this season.
Outfield, they are spread out straight up. Pretty good lead by Swish. Pretty good pitch by Baker, and a good job by Josh just to fight it off.
Talking about Ken Griffey Jr., there are the career numbers. This is since 1989 when he's just a little itty bitty baby. 608 homers, 13 All-Star selection, 10-time Gold Glove winner, MVP, 1,700 plus runs batted in.
Well, at one time, Michael Jordan was the best basketball player I've ever seen. And at one time, Jack Nicklaus was the best golfer I ever saw. And at one time, Ken Griffey Jr. was the best baseball player that I'd ever seen. He could do it all. He could do anything he wanted to on a baseball field and make it look easy.
The first 10 years of watching Junior was like watching a kid at play.
Yes, it was. Josh, pretty good pitch to hit.
There's that fastball. Talked about it. Just when you're behind in the count, you think he might throw you something a little off speed. He throws the fastball and you're tardy on it. And you give yourself just a little bit of a layback. You think, okay, this way I'm ready for the off-speed pitch, and instead the express.
That'll bring up Dwayne Wise. Dwayne hitting at .294, a couple of homers. He's driven in 5. That fastball fouled back. It's going to be interesting. Interesting to see. Junior's going to join us tomorrow in Kansas City, and he's going to be in center field. And that's high, 1-1.
You're going to have Junior out there. Tommy. You're going to have a lot of power and history in the heart of the lineup. As there goes Swish. Great jump, no chance. Oh, no, boy, he gunned that down there and made it close.
Woo. Swish, third stolen base with a great jump. Mauer, as I mentioned last inning, he is one of the best at getting it down to second base.
Man.
Well, even with that jump, you can see no wasted motion. Mauer throws out.
He was out.
25%, 26% of the runners, which is good.
Oh, that was just a missile. As you said, no wasted movement. He just stood up and it was gone.
Knock him in, Dwayne. The 2-1 pitch. That's popped up. Get out of here. It will.
I'll tell you, for the jump that Nick Swisher had, I mean, in all honesty, he took off before the pitcher even started his motion.
That was almost a Lance Johnson jump.
Yes, just shy of that. And for that to be that close. Ooh. Watch the jump. Gone before the pitcher starts his motion. That just tells you that Mauer has a cannon with a quick release.
Breaking ball in the inside corner, says Welke. Wise can't believe it. Meanwhile, a 2-run homer by Tomey. It is 2-0 Sox. Get Chicago Sports News Nightly on Land Rover Sports Night coming up tonight after Sox postgame live. Luol Deng resigns with the Bulls, and Scotty Bowman joins the Blackhawks. Sox and Cubs highlights and postgame. So join Mark Shanowski and Pat Boy for Land Rover Sports Night tonight after Sox postgame live, only on Comcast, SportsNet, fans' best friend. 1-0 the count to Jason Kubel. Sox on top 2-0. Where is that? That pitch was called a strike on Dwayne Wise.
That was not a good pitch to Dwayne.
I'm telling you, umpiring didn't cost us the first 2 games of the series, but let's just put it this way. This could have been a better umpired series, especially with last night.
Well, remember,
look at this.
Baker throws from the first base side of the mound as far towards first base as he can, and that pitch started in and stayed in all the way. And we show you the camera angle, but we're sitting right behind home plate, and we see the minute it leaves his hand, and we see where it crosses home plate. It was inside. And that was very hard for Dwayne Wise, who rarely gets a start, to have the bat taken out of his hands in that situation. You can't stand that because there's no way he could have hit it.
Yeah, this has not been real good. 2-2 the count. And I'm surprised because when I saw the crew for this big series, I was pleased with it. It just has not been a well umpired series.
Well, that's why the best thing to do as a team is just go out and kick some butt. Forget them, huh?
He gone.
Make it the best that you can, that the mistakes that are within the game, if the umpire is making them, that it doesn't affect you. As
well,
a good pitch.
If it affects you, you're making the mistake because you're compounding a situation. Minor leagues, you can see that happen quite a bit, but you don't see it happen that often at the big league level. Brendan Harris goes through that one. He's at 255, 5 homers and 35 knocked in. Those 2 calls last night on Nick Swisher were ridiculous. And the count 0-2.
Don't know why it is, but there's a lot more left-handed pitchers with a little something quirky in their delivery to deceive the hitter than righties. Johnny Danks has that little bit of a hesitation, which makes his fastball more explosive. We've seen it with Clayton Richard also.
Adam Everett on deck. That ball hit hard. Nobody's going to get that one. Got a good pitch to hit and did not miss it. So the ground rule double.
Hey, he looked silly on the fastballs, couldn't catch up to him, and then let's see what this pitch is. A little slider.
Spinner. Slider that didn't slide. Just a spinner. Boy, those spinners coming up there. You got a little dot on there. Baseball is like a target that you can see. As here's Everett hitting at 189, a homer. He's driven in 7, just coming off the DL. Takes first pitch strike. Checking some scores for you this afternoon. Cleveland thumped the Tigers 9-4. Top of the 5th in the Bronx. Angels leading the Yankees 6-1. Top of the 3rd in Texas. 4-0 Seattle. Over in the National League this afternoon. Cubs sweep the Brewers. Boy, they put a hurting on them too. Today's game they beat them 11-4.
That was really a lopsided series.
Yeah. And the Brewers had their pitching staff lined up the way they wanted it.
Yeah.
Sabathia, Sheets,
Parra.
First 2 games, and Cubs just went right through them.
Yeah, and Parra had been locked in. I think won 8 of his last 9 decisions.
Bottom of the 5th in Atlanta. Cardinals and the Braves are tied at 4. Right back to Danks. Holds a runner. 2 down. Marlins leading the Rockies. Bottom of the 2nd inning. 7-0. 7-0 down in Florida. So 2 out to the center fielder, Carlos Gomez. Gomez hitting at .256. 5 homers. He's driven in 34. Chops that one foul. Top of the 6th inning in D.C. Phillies leading the Nasty Nats 5-2. And later on, D-backs taking on the Dodgers, who now have Manny Ramirez on their ball club. And somewhat of a shocker. Change up. Had him way out in front, but it was up. If he doesn't get the changeup down, he's going to get beat tonight. You cannot make mistakes with that changeup upstairs. Comes back with a fastball. Upstairs, he gone. And that'll do it. After 2, it is 2-0 good guy. Tomorrow, don't miss a big doubleheader on Comcast SportsNet as the Cubs and the Sox battle divisional rivals. At 12:30, Alfonso Soriano and the Cubs take on the Pirates at Wrigley. And at 7, Ozzie and our Sox are in Kansas City for a showdown versus the Royals. Don't miss that huge doubleheader beginning tomorrow at 12:30 right here on Comcast SportsNet, fans' best friend. Top of the order here in the top of the 3rd. Cabrera, Pierzynski, and Quentin. Orlando hit the first pitch of the ball game into right field for a flyout. And there's a shot over the head. And of course, the way they defend Delvin Young, for the most part, playing well over towards the line. They have the speed to cut off the gap in left center with Gomez and Young. They're going to cut a lot of balls off and keep them being doubles down the lines.
Right there, that pitch up and off speed. So Orlando with the head right on it. It's it right out of the jumping reach of Harris.
Keep it going, AJ. He popped up to short.
AJ probably going to try and exploit that hole on the right side.
Especially if he gets the right pitch to do it on. Now Mauer. Joe Mauer will make a few trips to that bump.
Hey, if that wasn't artificial turf, there's no question that he'd be wearing a hole in the grass.
Look how big Mauer is compared to Baker. Baker's 6'4", 220. He's still a growing young man.
Yeah. And of course, that's always a concern for a team when they say, man, this guy's a really big guy, and we've got him squatting an awful lot, a lot of weight, a lot of pressure on those knees.
And AJ on the fastball. Good pitch to hit. Pops it up. Young comes on.
The 2008 Chicago White Sox are presented by U.S. Cellular. U.S. Cellular, believe in something better.
With 1 out, Cabrera at first. That'll bring up Carlos, who struck out on a fastball swinging. There's a shot base hit. So Cabrera at second, Quentin at first.
Rocket off of the bat of Carlos, who is seeing the ball extremely well.
So here's Jermaine. He walked and scored last inning. Two on, one out here in the top of the third. Chases a pitcher's pitch on the first one.
American League leaders in slugging percentage. Jermaine Dye third. He's been swinging the bat well for quite some time. You see Carlos Quentin fifth in the league, so two men in the heart of the lineup doing a great job.
Breaking ball, lays off of it.
First couple at bats for Jermaine, though. He has had a little trouble with the fastball from Baker. He's fouled a couple of them off and all, and he swung and missed, but just seems like he's not reacting too well to that pitch.
Big pitch coming up right here with one out, two on, and the 1-1 delivery. Got the breaking ball over, and that advantage goes to Baker. Got to cinch it up and hunker down right here. 23. Good eye. 2-2. Baker in his career 24 up, 23 down, 1-0 this year against us, and 2-2 lifetime. Long look in at Maurer.
The pitch didn't look too bad right there. They set up inside, then jump outside, and awfully close. It's tough to tell what that pitch was. It was like a changeup with a little rotation on it.
That was a curve.
It didn't bite very much.
So another hitter barking at Welke, as here is Tomey. High pop up, get out of here. And it will. About 5 rows back. Tomey last inning after fouling off a lot of pitches. I believe there was 11 pitches in that at bat. Change up. And a count 0-2. Two out, two on, 0-2 the count.
Well, you can really see on that one, folks, that Baker was going to miss out of the strike zone. No foul balls from the inside corner pitch. No mistakes out over the plate where he can be taken deep again. Just a pitch to waste.
Maurer always sets up a little bit late. And there's a good eye. 2-2.
Orlando Cabrera's out there doing a dance. It looks like he's going to steal. He's not doing it to try and steal the base. Distract the pitcher is what his goal is. Jimmy, as you just saw that graphic, swinging the bat well.
Sox thread, can't do anything with it. It is still 2-0.
White Sox baseball is brought to you in part by your Chicago area Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Aflac, ask about it at work, and by Nissan and your Nissan dealer.
Top of the order here in the bottom of the third. Right fielder Denard Span takes first pitch strike. Denard, a strikeout victim. His first trip. Punto on deck and Joe Mauer in the hole. And the count evens at 1.
Now we talk about umpires an awful lot and strike zones and inconsistency, and umpires had bad games. Right now, Bill Welke having a lot of hitters turn around and talk to him. It's an indication that hitters, now when hitters do that, it's not as if they're saying to themselves, hey, you know, you made a mistake, that's fine. They realize and they know what the strike zone, if it's over the plate or if it's not. You don't have so many different hitters complain unless the strike zone is not good.
Little chopper, pre-hopper.
Looking back to the last pitch to Jim Thome last half inning. That pitch is not that bad. It's a good pitch to actually hit, but Jim Thome felt it was probably up. Jimmy turned around right after that. He saw it was right at the top of the strike zone, and he says something right there to the umpire. And he's already had a lot of hitters complaining, so that just lets you know what they think of the strike zone.
Nick Punto chopped the single right back through the middle. Where was that pitch?
Well, that's the thing. You know, again, umpires have bad nights and inconsistent nights, and so far Bill Welke needs to get settled in a bit, I guess. 2 pitches back. Well,
if that's high, Thome's ball was high.
Exactly.
Swish. 2 down. So here's Mauer. He walked. That put Johnny Danks in a first inning jam with 1 out. The single by Punto, the walk to Mauer. But he got Morneau and Young. That's right off the end of the bat, and it's fair. Quentin playing him perfectly. Now they're going to give it to Cabrera, making a quick throw over to first base. So the 2-out single.
You just said it. The defense was set up perfectly for Mauer. Otherwise, a little squiver off the end of the bat. This is supposed to be a double for Mauer because he can run. Right off the end of the bat. And he's thinking too all the way until Quentin stopped him. Good job by Carlos. As you see, shading that direction. Now watch. He's going to throw this on the run, which Mauer. Actually, we didn't show it to you, but he did as a shortstop throw that on the run, just like it was in the hole.
Turns and burns on that one and hits it foul. So 1-1 to count to Morneau. Yes, he did. Says Marty Foster.
Oh, it really is amazing. Let's take a look. It's marginal, very marginal, but close to go either way. But what helps is the action of the catcher. How quickly and animated he jumps up asking the umpire for help. Got to sell it.
Well, it does not hurt. That's low. Way low and away.
I think it's just apparent that A.J. Pierzynski was born a natural actor. I mean, if he were to go ahead and pursue that, he would be a natural if that was his second career choice.
Pretty good lead by Maurer. And Morneau, that's what he likes to do when he's down in the count to a left-hander. Just poke that ball out into left field. When it's on the outside part, now if he gets it to the middle, he's liable to just hit it out in the left center field bleachers.
The funny thing was he was falling towards first base, and he still had the plate coverage away.
He's been doing that the whole series, the whole year, as a matter of fact, against us.
I'll let you know he's ready for something in, yet not giving you the outside corner.
There's a turn and a burn.
Exactly what we're talking about. Ready for something in. The extreme from that pitch to the one that he fouled off down the left field line, that's about 3.5 feet, 4 feet in between those two pitches.
It's not so much a stride, it's more of a drift that he's employing at the plate. He did not tip it. That ball's in play, and that'll retire the side. So Johnny Danks with his 4th strikeout, and we're into the 4th, leading 2-0.
Time right now for our trivia question. Who was the last White Sox pitcher to lead the AL in wins in consecutive seasons? We'll let you know when we know.
Alexi Ramirez will lead it off here in the top of the 4th.
Sox lead it 2-0. Alexi fly to left field in his only at bat. He'll pop up. And at third base is Harris. And that fastball up and out. Alexi had .313 on the year. 9 homers to go along with 16 doubles and a triple. There's a strike. Alexi .382 batting average in his last 20 games. 12 driven in, 14 runs. He's just been outstanding. That's hit high into center field. Gomez going back and letting all the fans know he has it. August 5th and 19th, stop by the interactive display outside Gate 5 pregame and visit the U.S. Cellular store at section 154 at U.S. Cellular Field to get the White Sox logo engraved on your Motorola phone. Sox fans, seen plenty of them here at the ballpark and downtown in this series. Swish takes the curveball strike. Nick drew a walk and stole a base back in the 2nd inning. Quickly 0-2.
Swish wearing that number 30
for a day.
For the last time today.
Bounced down 2 more. No, he bobbles it, but has plenty of time. 2 down.
Yeah, we had heard that for the game that Junior was going to wear number 30. Nick was going to give him that 30 and go to number 1. So he could be called the Dirty One.
Right now he's known as Dirty 30. That'll be the dirty one. It works for him and everybody around him. As there's 2 down for Josh. Takes the breaking ball strike. Josh struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. Scott Baker, 7-3 record, a 3.38 earned run average coming in. throwing the ball well. In his last 7 starts, Baker has a record of 5-1. High flip to the right side. Going to reach the seats. Joe Creedy went out on a rehab assignment today. Is back feeling better to where he can go do some work now. That's outside.
Angels leading the Yankees 10-2, bottom of the 6th in the Bronx. I tell you, Angels liable not to lose another game.
They feel good about themselves, I'm sure. Best record in baseball. And they want to just go ahead and put the emphasis on that best record all year long. So Baker blows Fields away for the second time. It's a 1-2, 3/4. Sox lead it 2-0. Time right now for our trivia question and answer. Who was the last White Sox pitcher to lead the AL in wins in consecutive seasons? How about Lamar Hoyt? Did it in 82 and 83. He was good. Dylan Young 0 for 1. First pitch swinging. He's been known to do that. And even though he's been known to do it, he's hitting .290 on the year. High pop. Alexi.
Now Danks made a real good pitch on him his first at bat back in the first inning with 2 aboard. Hit him right on the fist with a cutter for that soft ground ball down to Josh Fields.
Well, when Johnny executes. And a lot of people always come up and ask you and I, Hawk, about John Danks. Hey, what's this guy got? And we describe it, you know. He's got that good cutter, and he gets his changeup down. Well, he's nasty. Also, 2-seam fastball that'll run into the lefties away from the righties. And again, it's one of the things we're going to always say is about he can't get the ball up, especially the changeup.
And besides all that, he'll battle your behind off.
The intangible. Always dangerous Jason Kubel standing in, a strikeout victim. There's a high fastball. Now John Danks last year, folks, had a record of 6 wins, 13 losses, and a .550 earned run average. Well, he's come a long way from there. He looks like he's been here quite some time now. And misses.
Well, it's safe to say if you ask any of his teammates, he could have 13 or 14 wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's been the one who's won it all year.
Squibbed right in front of home plate. It's a fair ball. AJ touched it. So it's an easy play and an easy out. Something unique here in this ballpark, folks. I wanted to show you. Jim Angio's giving us this shot. Look at those first 2 rows here out in the left field area along the wall. You see they rope them off. The fans not allowed to sit in those areas. You may sit there going, well, why is that? Well, it avoids fan interference. People can't sit down there. And you know how you see in so many stadiums. Was it reached over and interfered with when he tried to make the play? Well, here you don't worry about that. And those are some pretty prime time seats down there on the field. So, you know, they're thinking about the game first. Harris takes that one right there. Brendan, he didn't look too good against Johnny in the first couple of swings he took in the second. Then Danks made a mistake with a little spinning slider, and he ripped it for a ground rule double into left center field. Pretty much looked like that on the fastball the first couple of swings he took. It's waved at it. That's way in. Brendan Harris, on a couple of occasions in his career, has been asked when the teams changed their uniforms to model the uniform, the Reds, the Rays, and each time that he did it, he was traded within a few weeks. He said he's not doing that anymore. No more modeling uniforms. The Reds, he was there briefly. He said, yeah, we want you to come to town, put on the uniform, take pictures, promote it. Rays, when he got there, same thing. Bye-bye. Seems like there's always something players kind of recognize as the kiss of death. For Harris, it's the, hey, will you take a picture in our uniform?
A lot of times it used to be kiss of death for being the player rep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And Harris is going to go ahead and rip a hanging changeup down the left field line for his second double of the game.
Well, when Johnny makes mistakes up, they just don't foul him off very often.
He's going to have to abandon that pitch altogether if he's going to throw it higher than lower. And he's thrown it higher the majority of the time today. Look at this. He just can't get it down. He did it one time in this game. He threw a good changeup down to Kubel.
Morneau. He got Morneau on a good one.
Well, the first time around for Kubel, he got him on a changeup straight down, and then obviously then Morneau. So 2 good ones down, and the others he's left up. Ooh, they've hit him. That's down.
That's the state of mind. You know, you can let your thoughts dictate your mechanics rather than having your mechanics dictate your thoughts. And what I'm talking about that is you don't have to think about mechanics when you want to get the changeup down. All you got to do is tell yourself, if I miss, I'm going to miss low. You know, that will get your arm up. Where's that pitch?
Everybody in a gray uniform wants to know that. So it's 2-0 to Everett. Make it 3-0.
Well, this is not the man you want to walk. Just coming off the DL.
Now, and Adam Everett has never really been known as a thundering stick up there with the bat. He's a glove man. He's always been known as a glove man. But that guy there, you never know. He's the kind of guy you do not want to face if you don't have to. Lifted in his short left center field, and Carlos coming in, making sure he keeps that ball above the lights. He does it well. So Harris stranded after the double, and the Sox hold on to the lead at 2-0. U.S. Cellular presents Win a Jersey Wednesdays, every Wednesday home game. Fans, well, you can win one of 15 jerseys autographed by White Sox players and coaches, and tickets are still available for Wednesday, August 6th, when the Sox host the Tigers. Here we go. Dwayne Wise struck out looking in the second, not happy about it either. Breaking ball misses. Ball 1. Dwayne showing bunt. And at third, Brendan Harris. Very good pitch. Dwayne took a good whack at it. 1-1 the count. Dwayne Wise got to feel like a man on the bubble at all times. Little moves here and there being made. Is he going to be in or out of this big league team? You know, first question he asked when he hears about King Griffey Jr. All right, should I be packing my stuff? But no, as it stands, Dwayne actually is still going to be part of this team. They're going to carry one less pitcher in the bullpen. Talked to Kenny Williams about that today. Right now, they're going to go with Nick Massett's exit to Cincinnati. They're just going to go ahead and stand pat with the bullpen and just add Junior to the big league roster here. That's it. Extra man on the bench. Haven't seen that in a long time, Hawk. That's way in.
But Dwayne Wise can be a real big asset going down for the last 2 months. We played 106 games. After tonight, we'll have 55 left. He's the kind of guy can play center, spot start for you, pinch hit, go in and steal a base.
And draw a walk to get things started. So 2 straight starts for Baker with 3 walks, and those are season highs for him.
Dwayne Wise is a perfect kind of guy you want a ball club that's contending to add depth to it.
Yes. Well, there's no question, especially on a team that doesn't have a whole lot of speed that it's going to be put on the field every day. If you can go to him, that's going to help. Baker. Quick feed, but still takes a little while to get rid of it to first. Orlando smoked one into left field last time up. Bounced foul into the Twins dugout. Twins not far off from having themselves a new outdoor stadium. That ball ripped into left field again by Orlando. Dwayne Wise was on the move. He's into third base easily. And Cabrera delivers his second straight hit to have runners on the corners and nobody out. Take a look right there at this sign. It says countdown to the new ballpark. 106 games left here in this ballpark for the Twins before they'll be in their new home. That's right here in downtown Minneapolis that's being built. What a nice baseball city, too. AJ popped a short and left field. Got some work to do here. Takes it outside. AJ last night came up with the bases juiced and drove one to left field with just one out. Alexi Ramirez on third. Jeff Cox held him up. Wise decision with Delman Young out there. And then Quentin came up and cleared the bases with a double. There goes Cabrera. No chance for Mauer. He'll pick up his 17th stolen base.
He knows when to run. He's had a few like this season. They don't pay attention to him.
Good instincts.
Oh yeah, he knows what's going on out there. And I tell you, you don't see that very often from a Minnesota Twin ball club. Very seldom you see somebody steal a base uncontested.
Yeah. Hey, we see it against us a lot, but not against Minnesota Twins.
Well, we got a couple pitchers that there's no sense in throwing down there.
Right.
Now they're playing back at second and short.
See if do the old run in late. No, staying back there. Got to get him over, get him in. AJ not on that pitch, shot the other way.
Yeah. Now that chasing ball 2 gives the advantage to Baker at 1 and 2.
And the swings that he has taken against Baker in this game, AJ's not really looked too good up there.
It doesn't seem like he's picking up the ball very well. Now 2 for 8 lifetime off Baker. Come on, AJ. Sense it up and hunker down, buddy.
Yeah, and it appears to me he's going to probably stay with that fastball. He does, and it's fouled off the other way again. You don't want to help the hitter out if you're Baker right now and slow it up.
A big at bat in the big scheme of things for this game right here.
Very tough for a hitter when he's made up his mind to foul that fastball off, just get some of it, to all of a sudden say, well, I'm going to commit to it. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to look for that fastball, and I'm going to turn on it, because that's the one time he'll get the changeup. So you'll see him foul off the fastball the other way and stay that way generally. Forget it. It's muscled into center field by A.J. Being waved home. Orlando Gomez was surprised to look up and see him, and Pierzynski caught in the rundown. Morneau will tag him, but Pierzynski delivers, driving in 2 runs to make it 4-0.
Jeff Cox had him coming all the way. The ball was not hit that hard. And watch, if we have the shot of it, watch Carlos Gomez right here. Now watch him when he picks it up. He just was not ready. Indeed, he did look surprised that Cabrera was trying to score.
You know, it was different in regular speed. You know, slowing down, it looked like he was looking all the way. He was looking, and he just held onto the ball a hair longer. We can see the delay in it. And then all of a sudden he realized, I've got to throw this ball. Jeff Cox, come on, let's go. He's put a lot of thought into guys on second base, the arm strength, when to send them, when not to. And Cox, he realized with Orlando Cabrera, good jumps, good reads, he's got to go. Popped right side for Carlos Quentin, and Nick Punto makes the play. 2 down.
Well, that play that you described just a few seconds ago, with the bases loaded, Ramirez at third, AJ at the plate last evening, and that ball hit out to Delman Young in left field, that turned out to be one of the big plays of the game, because it allowed Carlos Quentin to come up and clear him with that 2-out double. Now, a lot of guys with 1 out. Now, with no out, not at all the issue. 1 out, you got a lot of guys who are going to roll the dice and try to send that runner home with 1 out. And with Delman Young out there, Cox said, I talked to him about it after the game. He went right over to Ramirez, told him, stay here, stay here.
Now that was a, as you said, well, game-changing decision, because it just opened it wide up for the Sox.
Well, it made it a 5-1 ball. Check that time, 5-0 ball game.
Yeah, he sends him. That's 3 runs we don't score. Jermaine again seems to be having a little bit of trouble picking up the fastball. Getting some pitches to hit.
Well, we've had some good pitches to hit off Baker, but as you mentioned about left-handers and something in the motion, Baker evidently summoning his motion. Our guys just having trouble picking that fastball up.
That's it. There's really no other way to explain it, because he's throwing a lot of fastballs.
And then you go ask certain guys after the game, what about it? And they say, no, I saw it good. Meanwhile, they've been fouling him off to the opposite field.
And a little bouncer out to shortstop. He just whips it in time, does Everett, to get Jermaine Dye. 2 runs do cross the plate. It is now 4-0 Sox.
Time now for a Buick Pontiac GMC Sports Update.
Hi everyone, Chris Bowden here in our downtown studios. Join Bill Melton and me after the game for U.S. Cellular Sox Post Game Live, followed by Land Rover Sports Night with Pat Boyle, Mark Shanowski, I'll have all the reaction on Ken Griffey Jr. coming to the Sox. Plus, we'll hear from the Cubs after that impressive 4-game sweep of the Brewers. But now let's go back to Hawk and DJ in Minneapolis. Sox looking to earn a split of this series, guys.
All right, Chris, thank you. As it is 4-0 as we start action here in the bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch strike to Gomez, who struck out on 3 pitches in his only at bat. He's putting down. You got a bare hand and throw it, and you still won't get it.
This guy can change. He's a game changer. He can turn a game around in a heartbeat.
Earlier this season, there was a bit of a controversy when it came to Gomez, who put down a bunt in a game where somebody was winning big by 5 or 6 runs in the 8th inning, and he put down a bunt hit, and the opponent saying, "What's he doing? This guy doesn't understand the game." He goes, "What are you talking about? This is what I do." Nobody's tried to put down more bunts and has more bunt hits than this guy.
Well, anybody that would say that, they don't understand
exactly.
the game.
Exactly.
That's part of his game.
Well, that's right. And giving the circumstance really doesn't matter anymore. If this guy bunts as much as he does, it doesn't really matter what the circumstance is. You don't want him to do it now. You're going to still, as a team, going to be upset if they're winning 10-1 and he's putting down bunts. Now, that's not good. But if they're losing, it's different.
Well, right here, the big thing is that Johnny Dank's just got to forget about Carlos Gomez at first base. Just forget about him.
The proverbial, his run means nothing.
Just don't break your rhythm and worry about trying to pick him off over there or hold him close. Don't break your rhythm to the plate. And this is what we saw Ricky Henderson do so many times over his career, especially with young pitchers out there. Took them right out of their rhythm.
There you go. Span looking for one to hit out of here for the 2nd home run of the year. Right now, I know Hawk and I are in agreement. It means nothing if Gomez steals 2nd and then steals 3rd. Who cares? You get the next 3 hitters and go sit down on the bench. Gomez is going to manufacture some runs by putting down bunts.
Well, he's got a chance to be the best offensive player in this league.
Right down to Swish. He's going to go for the lead runner and get him back to Swish. Not in time. Span just a little too fast. What a nice throw by Nick Swisher.
It was a good throw by Swish. Of course, that's why you want left-handed first baseman. They don't have to get as much of an angle. They've already got one by throwing left-handed. And you get a big guy. Gomez is 6'4", but right here the throw is going to take Swish off the bag a little bit. But Denard Span is the 2nd fastest man on this Minnesota team.
So you eliminate a very fast guy from first, and you have another one there. Span only 5 for 8 in stolen bases this year. Punto thinking about the bunt.
Well, this is the last thing you would like to see. Gomez lead off the inning with a bunt single. I thought Span was going to try to bunt, and now you got Punto. That's the reason these guys are in order. That's the reason they're hitting 9th, 1, and 2 for Ron Gardenhire. Remember a game a few years ago out in Big A in Anaheim.
Killed us.
Eckstein, as Carlos will make that play. Eckstein started it off with a bunt. Next guy gets a bunt single. Next guy gets a bunt single. They come back from about a 3 or 4 run deficit and beat us.
And remember, we even couldn't field the bunts. We threw them away down the right field line.
This is part of their offense.
Well, you're right. It's amazing when you see these 3 guys. The lineup is set up in this fashion for a reason. You get to Gomez, Span, and Punto, all guys that can get on base with a bunt or a little infield hit or anything like that. It's all about having somebody on base for this man, Joe Mauer, and then Justin Morneau behind him. There's a method to their madness. And he's going to flare one into left field again. 2nd straight at bat for Mauer, where he landed one softly out there down the line.
Well, that's what they do. 3 bloops and a blast. In this case, 2 bloops, one of being a bunt, and this is a little bloop. duck snort, and then you got the blaster coming to the plate.
Well, I tell you, that's not easy to do. I mean, for a big guy like Mauer, who's a great hitter, to hit him right off the end of the bat in the same spot in 2 at-bats. Come on.
Well,
spend some of that meal money.
He's shaking out his hands a little bit.
Here's the dangerous Morneau. And an extended outside corner for strike 1. Johnny Danks on the extreme third base side of that pitcher's mound, that rubber. Goes further out. Nick Swisher had run in behind Joe Mauer as if there was some kind of play on, even though apparently there wasn't. Watch Johnny Danks where he sets up, half his foot off of the rubber. That ball is crushed to deep right field. It is now a 4-3 game.
2 bloops and a blast.
How many times can those 2 guys beat you in a year?
Morneau now with 2 home runs and 9 RBIs in this series. And there you see, really not that bad a pitch. It was in off the corner, and that ball takes a bad hop over the head of Josh Fields. So the double by Delman Young. And this is what happens with these Minnesota Twins. They get a bunt, they get a bloop, and then the blast.
So the tying run out there on second base as Jason Kubel will be the batter due up. And take another look. Cutter in, Young quick to it. And then the bad hop up over the glove of Josh Fields.
You can see after Gomez beats out the bunt, Johnny Danks holding the ball on Gomez, working out of the same rhythm that he was before that. It changes a guy's rhythm if it will. That's why he is a game changer. They'll take you right out of your rhythm.
Sox holding on to that 1-run lead. And that's outside to Jason Kubel, who's 0 for 2. Over and in the left and center fielders. That's hit high and deep to right field. Jermaine Dye going back at the fence, makes the play. 3 runs off of the swing by Joe Mauer. It's a 1-run lead for the Sox. This is the Coors Light 6th inning. Now it's time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. Contact. Jim Thome. Opposite field home run. 2-run blast to get the Sox ahead. The Coors Light Freeze Cam is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. There you have it. Minnesota with more hits, less runs. They trail it by 1. Jim Thome, 1 for 2. Up and out.
You know, if you're sitting at home watching and you say, well, how can Carlos Gomez is that's high in the center field, that's a can of corn. How can a bunt like that change the game? Well, the reason it can change the game is because it changes the pitcher's rhythm if he allows it. And Johnny was holding the ball over there, thinking about Gomez, changed his rhythm. And if it changes a pitcher's rhythm, then the game rhythm is changed.
I talked about it earlier, the fact that Johnny Danks, while pitching out of the windup, is in a real good rhythm, that is. Easy for me to say. And then when out of the stretch, for some reason, that little bit of a distraction, boom, it makes all the difference. And that goes for a lot of pitchers, pitching out of the windup and stretch, unless you come out of the bullpen and always pitch out of the stretch. Jesse Crane. Big swing, fouled back 0-2.
Yeah, he had a cookie right there and couldn't do anything with it.
No 2 count on Alexi, who is 0 for 2. Fly to left and center field. Takes a fastball. 6th, 7th strikeout on the evening for Baker.
That didn't take long, but he had a great pitch to hit on the 0-1. Got a high changeup and didn't do anything with it. Well, the Twins, especially in this ballpark, they're never out of it, and they know it.
No, that's a fact. Now, Sox actually have a better home record than Minnesota, but we're not at home right now.
They're 35-16. They're 36-20. We're both 5 games under on the road.
Let's have a little juxtaposition here of these records. Very good at home. On the road, bit of a difference. Checked up, fouled off, and the count will go to 1-2. Hundred pitches thrown up there for Baker now. Therefore, you know why Ron Gardenhire is getting that bullpen prepared. I mentioned before, Baker, when he goes 6 innings, he wins the majority of his games. This is the 6th inning. Fouled back. That sneaky fastball. We showed the delivery of Baker a second ago while he was striking out Alexi Ramirez. He threw a fastball right by him. He's got a little bit of a wrap action with his wrists when he takes the ball back, and then it's just short and quick with that fastball. Catches the hitters off guard. Tight little breaking ball. 1-2-3, 6th inning. Sox, they lead it by 1.
White Sox baseball is brought to you in part by U.S. Cellular. U.S. Cellular. Believe in something better. And by the Toyota Tundra. Visit ytundra.com to find out why the Toyota Tundra is a great way to keep moving forward.
Harris, Everett, and Gomez do appear in the bottom half of the 6th inning against Johnny Danks. It is a 4-3 ball game. Harris, a couple of doubles in this game. Fouls that one straight back. But he's been in the hole early in every at bat, only to deliver with 2 strikes. Harris with 19 doubles on the season now to go along with a couple of triples and 5 homers. Rick Anderson, the pitching coach, and Scott Baker having their talk. Baker with over 100 pitches thrown up there. That's off to the right, 1-2. Johnny Danks, a record of 5-1 on the road this season. and a 2.31 earned run average coming into this ball game. Pitched well. He's pitched well. Has a lot of no decisions. That's hit out to Cabrera over the top, just in time. Make every home game a ballpark double play at U.S. Cellular Field this season with 2 ballpark hot dogs for the price of 1 at the All-Star concession stands during the first hour after the gates open. There's the pitching line on John. 3-run blast by Justin Morneau. His 18th of the year, now has 86 driven in, does Morneau. It's inside.
I said earlier he had 9 RBIs in this series. He's got 10. 10 RBIs in this series.
Now we talk about Quentin. We say, jump on board. He'll bring you home. He'll carry you home. Well, that's pretty much the same thing when it comes to Morneau and these Twins. Down to Josh Fields on a big hop. Let's go ahead right now and check out our Felco White Sox upcoming schedule. We close out this series right here in Minnesota this evening and then head down to Kansas City for a 3-game set against the Royals, a day off Monday, and then the Tigers come to town. Big homestand coming up. Get out to the ballpark. Sox trying to come home in first place. Popped up left side. Cabrera says he has it. In fair ground, he makes the play. So good inning, good recovery inning for for that man, John Danks. On August 9th, the White Sox host the Red Sox. Have yourself a beach bash. It'll be a celebration of the first 20,000 fans. They get to receive a beach towel presented by Walgreens. For game tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com. The beach bash. So there you have it. Starting pitcher, Baker gone. Reliever, Crane in. See, his number is pretty good. We've seen him in this series. Got a good fastball, curveball, and slider.
Josh Fields, Dwayne Wise, Orlando Cabrera here in the top of the 7th inning. Josh 0 for 2 with a couple of punch outs against Baker. Now field they are spread out for the most part straight up. Always got that big gap though out there in left center field. '27-year-old right-hander out of Lakeville, Minnesota. That fastball at 94 misses and the count 2-0. Jesse is 6'1", 215 pounds. Four 5-0 for our guys, 3-8-0 for their guys. Just tuning in. Baker walked 3 guys. Big thing for us, though. 2 of them came leading off an inning, and in both those innings, we scored 2 runs each. Josh big hack, no contact, 2-2.
Helping him out. Pitcher's pitch away. Looked like Josh just pretty much was saying to himself, I'm swinging. It's a fastball count, 2-1. I'm going to go after it. Didn't matter where the location was.
And he's got the hat trick.
Just a high fastball right by him.
That's the 9th strikeout for our Twin pitching. And here's Dwayne Wise, who was called out on a terrible pitch. Then he walked back in the 5th to lead off the inning, came around to score. Breaking ball, a good one. Another breaking ball and the count 0-2. And checking some scores for you this afternoon. The Indians thumped the Tigers 9-4. And top of the ninth in the Bronx, Angels drilling the Yankees 12-3. 6-0 Seattle leading Texas. That's in the top of the eighth. And there's a shot, base hit. Tried to run that 95-mile-an-hour fastball by him and couldn't get it there. So the one-out single by Wise.
Yeah, you can see the difference between that little two-strike stroke from Wise right there compared to the one from Josh Fields with 2 strikes. That's short and sweet. Josh was big, loaded up, and couldn't catch up to it.
Well, now Anderson coming out with Mowers. They're going to have double-barreled activity for the Twins down in their pen. And as they do, we'll check some National League scores for you this afternoon. Cubs just really thumped the Brew Crew 11-4 at Miller Park, sweeping that 4-game set. Final from Atlanta. Braves come back. They were trailing. They beat the Cardinals 9-4. Bottom of the ninth in Washington, 8-4 Phillies. Top of the sixth down in Florida, 11-1 Marlins over Colorado. And later on, D-backs take on the Dodgers in L.A. Well, limited slate of action around the major leagues today. And you are now up to date. We're right here. Jesse Crain has a good move to first. Very quick feet. Dwayne 5 for 5 in stolen bases. Cabrera's 2 for 3. 2 singles, a stolen base, and a run scored.
Minnesota does not like to pitch out on a first pitch. Their philosophy is get ahead. So if you're going to run early.
Strike on the outside corner.
It's always counterproductive when you're in an organization that feels strike one is the utmost importance. And if you have a base stealer on first base, they're not going to pitch out.
Yeah, quick move. Well, strike one is the first step in pitching.
See a quick move by Jesse, former shortstop in college and closer.
Playing now the same lead. Long set by Crain. Sox were leading in game 2 4-0. Going to the bottom of the fifth. Twins scored 5 and won that ball game 6-5. And that's high and wide for ball 1. 1-1 to count with 1 down here in the top of the 7th. Crain, long look in now, that deliberate set. There goes. Not a good jump right there. But he's in there. High throw from Mauer.
Might be hurt. Foot caught him in the face. Take a look. It's a quick pitch out, and Dwayne Wise can fly, obviously, because he did not have the great jump. Saw Everett's foot come right across his face.
I'll tell you what, he poured it on, though, even with that high throw. He poured it on about 2/3 of the way down there to second base.
Yes.
Man. So he is 6 for 6, but more importantly, in scoring position. And the count 2-1 to Cabrera.
They pitched out. They read the White Sox mail and still couldn't get him.
Little comebacker. Now they got him. Not a good play right there by Dwayne. Takes himself out of position, and that's out number 2.
Well, you're right. You do a good job stealing the bag, and then you instinctually take off on contact when you don't need to. You got to make sure it gets past that one man in the middle of the field first. Doesn't get past him, you stand your ground. He just instinctually took off and knew he was in trouble immediately once he did it.
So here is A.J. Had that 2-run single in the 5th. He's 1 for 3.
You know, the funny thing is you get caught in a situation like that, you can't stop. You got to keep going if you're Dwayne and try and stay in a rundown to get Cabrera into second. He pretty much just appeared out of frustration to let him tag him. He's fast. He could have hightailed it back towards second and then gotten the run down the other way possibly.
Well, very seldom you're going to do that on Minnesota. They handle those plays extremely well. As there's a ground ball right side. And that'll do it. We're at the 7th inning stretch, leading 4-3. Top of the order here in the bottom of the 7th and a 4-3 Sox lead. Denard Span takes ball 1. He is 0 for 3, but he has scored a run. Reached on 8. Fielder's choice. Takes that strike, and the count evens at 1. Juan Uribe in at third for Josh Fields. Now Field around to the left. Wait a minute. Did he bunt at it? He wants to know if he bunted it. Yes, he did. Come on back here, Denard. Yes, he did.
I think we caught a break right there. Hit him right on the back knee. And that's it. He's gone quickly as Ron Gardenhire. AJ. He is a natural born actor. Pierzynski immediately jumped up and asked if he bunted at it. That is one of the quickest thinking guys you're going to come across, A.J. Pierzynski. He said, I think he tried to bunt at it. The bat was out there.
The bat was out there. He didn't get the bat back.
Telling Johnny Danks that. Gardenhire trying to plead his case now to crew chief Tim Welke, since Marty Foster's already tossed him. Span had the bat back against his body. Indeed. Sox catch a break. Gardenhire tosses his hat, as do lots of fans throwing their hats on the field. Well, people are throwing balls on the field. So Ozzy's saying, get him off the field.
I don't blame him. If they start throwing stuff on the field, get them off. Now they continue to throw hats. I don't see any more balls going out there. Now one of the fans up there, the big guy standing up, and Ozzy having some words. Now the other guy with no hair. Like somebody yelling at you when you're 800 miles away over the phone. They get pretty brave then. Ouch, Coxie. Yeah, this doesn't happen very often. These are good fans here. But still, when things start hitting the deck out there, being thrown by the spectators, get your players off the field immediately.
You know, so many times managers go out there and get animated, as Ron Gardenhire was, and that's normal. And you try to get your team pumped up, get them motivated. You're into the game. Sometimes you catch fire as a team. Whatever the reason being, you're doing your job as a manager. Well, obviously on this evening, Ron Gardenhire got the fans motivated.
Now, a little football hits the field.
Looks like a little Nerf football.
Yeah. Hey, I've seen ball bearings.
Yeah.
I've seen half-pint liquor bottles. I've seen those round lug nuts thrown out there. I've had them thrown at me in Detroit. Dick Williams was the manager when I was playing with the Red Sox then. He pulled us off the field, and they came over the loudspeaker and said, any more of that, and this is going to be a forfeit.
Yeah, I've seen batteries, even darts.
Batteries, yeah, they threw some batteries too.
Even darts down on the field before.
Well, I could hear them whizzing past my head. Those ball bearings, and they were about the size of a big marble.
Well, the Minnesota Twins have made the announcement to the fans. The umpires going to call him back on the field.
Expect the players on the field and refrain from throwing objects onto the field of play.
So Johnny Danks will probably get some more warm-up pitches. Obviously, anybody caught throwing something on the field at this time will be apprehended, as the ushers will have their eyes out throughout the stadium looking back into the seats. All right, looks like we're going to get back to baseball action. Hopefully we'll have no more interference. And a reminder, folks, that on August 8th, The Sox are going to host the Red Sox at 7-Eleven. Enjoy post-game fireworks presented by U.S. Cellular. For game tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
So here we go with a 1-2 count to Denard's Span.
Well, Span's had time to recover from that pitch that hit him in his knee.
And the 2-2. Come on, Johnny, no walks. Chopper just fouled down the first baseline. Matt Thornton, the guys down in the bullpen did not leave the field. They were still down there. So once again, the payoff pitch. Lead off walk. Had him 1-2. So Danks will depart. Johnny pitched well tonight, but the leadoff walk right here is going to get him out of the ball game. After the game, stick around for U.S. Cellular White Sox Postgame Live. Get highlights of all the action, analysis from Bill Melton. Don't miss U.S. Cellular White Sox Postgame Live immediately following the game right here on Comcast SportsNet. Fans' best friend.
Here it is. It's now hard-throwing Matt Thornton's turn. He's 4-2, a .236 earning. 191 opponents have hit against him, and time for a little small ball for Minnesota.
Well, they get the right man at the plate, Nick Punto. So the dreaded leadoff walk here in a 1-run ball game, bottom of the 7th inning. This man with that outstanding speed. Uribe in on the grass at third. Squares the bunt, takes the ball. Outfield straight up. Morneau in the hole with Mauer on deck.
Is where Matt Thornton needs to throw that fastball just up at the top of the strike zone.
He needs to throw a strike. Count 2-0.
Now Minnesota, they're not afraid to go ahead and have Punto take a strike now.
Decent lead by Span. There's a bunt that's going foul.
Well, thank you.
Four 6-0 for our guys, 3-8-0 for their guys. Sox 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 5th. Twins 3 coming in the bottom of the 5th. A 2-out 3-run homer off the bat of Morneau. Watch out.
Talk about Denard Span. At one time was the fastest guy in this organization for Minnesota, but the most stolen bases in a year for him was 25. Lets you know that he's not one of those guys that has the great feel for stealing bases.
There's the strike. Punto does not like it, barks at Welke. And the count 2-2.
Looks like the high fastball, and it's a good pitch. AJ catches this below his mask.
Big pitch right here. That's into left field. Carlos. And a big out. So Punto cannot get the bunt down. One away.
Ron Gardenhire not being on that bench, being tossed from this game, that could have made the difference in that situation when the count was just 2-1. Gardenhire's not afraid to go ahead and change things up and put a hit and run on with somebody like Punto and Span out there on the base paths. Punto hitting. Instead, he takes it, gets in the hole, and the easy fly out.
Mauer, a walk and 2 singles with a run scored. 2 little soft singles right off the end of the bat into left field. Same lead for Span. AJ keeps it right in the vicinity. So the count 1-0. Mauer hitting a .319 as he stands up to that dish. Outfield about equidistant, spread out, swung around to the left. And there's a strike to even the count at 1. Uribe in a little bit at third, but 4 or 5 steps off the line. Now Span the same lead.
Just the presence of a Joe Mauer standing at the plate causes things to happen. Look how much Matt misses with a fastball. Not reaching out and letting it go, that's for sure. Cut it off right there, aimed it. Matt's always saying that he needs to feel like he's reaching out, trying to touch the catcher. He didn't do it there.
So a big break for the Twins and a 2-1 count for Mauer. Somebody better give him a little motion out there at second base. And a count 3-1.
Well, how many times can it be Mauer and Morneau coming up in a tight game against the Sox late? And then inevitably it's going to seem like Morneau comes up with no place to put him. You got to pitch to him.
Shot. So the wild pitch is going to tie this ball game up. The leadoff walk comes around and scored.
That's a 3-1 fastball right there, and Mauer just hits it right on the button as hard as he can. Goes right through Cabrera. Span was off on contact, even though it was just 1 out and a line drive. So,
boy, in this building, we just don't execute. They do. They came back from that 4-0 deficit in game 2 to win it 6-5. They were down, if you're just tuning in, 4-0 here, going to the bottom of the 5th, the same way as in game 2. And now it is tied at 4. Those leadoff walks will absolutely eat your lunch.
Sox got a big break when Johnny Danks hit Span in the knee. Showed the replay. He had the bat back. They said he bunted at it. It led to the ejection of Gardenhire. He got walked anyway.
First pitch strike to Morneau. Morneau 1 for 3 in this game. He's 5 for 13 in the series with 2 homers and 10 RBIs. 3 in game 1, 3 in game 2, 1 last night, and 3 in this game. On the outside corner, and the count 0-2.
Yep, that pretty much says it all. That's why he was already the American League MVP 1 time, because he gets it done in the clutch. AJ trying to sell it. Doesn't get it this time.
Wow. Walk, wild pitch. As Uribe backhands it, goes over to second base. They will not be able to turn it, but they get Mauer, the lead man, 2 down.
Juan Uribe instinctually just firing that ball quickly on the money. So easy to think about taking your time and throwing the ball. Look at this. There's no taking your time, and he didn't have much time to pick up the target, but it was right down the middle of the plate.
So Thornton will depart. Dotel comes on, and we'll be back. Sox fans, White Sox games are now on Comcast SportsNet on demand. Comcast customers go to digital channel 999, then look for Comcast SportsNet and watch White Sox games on demand. Comcast SportsNet, fans' best friend. White Sox games on demand, not available in all areas.
Octavio Dotel is on for the 51st time. He's 4-4, 14 holds and a 285 earned run average, and he needs a strikeout right here.
Delman Young. 1 for 3, a double. Back in the 5th inning. Well, the Twins in this 4-game series have scored 20 runs. And Morneau and Mauer have knocked in 13 of them.
They are the 2 guys where you keep saying to yourself, how can you let them beat you over and over and over? Well, unfortunately, in this series, they keep coming up there, and the only thing you can do is pitch to them. And they keep beating you.
So the hit by pitch. And you get the feeling that things are just unraveling here for our Sox in the bottom of the 7th inning.
And the funny thing about that is the Sox are the team that were leading the game. Sox are the team that are in first place. And it appears in this inning as if we're chasing the Twins and trailing them.
There's no question about that. It's the emotion right now. And it started with that ejection by Gardner when he took a long time out there. Johnny Danks had Denard Span 1 and 2. And then after, what, 5 minutes? Play resumed as Ozzie brought the guys off the field. Danks walks him. Kubel. And the count 0-2.
Yeah, things like that change the flow of a game.
Every game has its own rhythm, and all of a sudden when something happens, people say, well, why do managers go out and get kicked out of a ball game to try to light the fire under their players? Well, it's a twofold reason. Besides lighting the fire, they want to change the rhythm of that game, and that's what Gardenhire did. It's almost like a vacuum. You get caught in a vacuum, and all of a sudden, if something doesn't happen to get you out of it, chances are, as that breaking ball misses, and the count 2-2, chances are good things are not going to happen for you. Two on, two out, and the 2-2 pitch. And you just get the feeling that things are unraveling for our Sox. So it is a 7-4 Minnesota lead. Harris takes up high, ball 1.
Well, they've scored 7 unanswered runs, have Minnesota, in a hurry.
Our bullpen has been hitting some tough roads lately.
Minnesota, no matter what, will remain in second place in the AL Central. Sox have a 1.5 game lead on them. But when you have a lead 4-0, you've got your guy out there, John Danks, throwing the ball well. Last thing you need is to lose that lead, and then the bullpen, which is, as Hawk just said, run on some hard times lately. Some individuals, now it seems to be contagious.
Full count.
2 men with the big swings in this game, Morneau and Kubel. As misses Harris and nails Welke.
So that'll bring up the shortstop, Adam Everett. And that'll bring Ozzie out of the dugout. Wasserman will be the next pitcher. So a big 4 runs so far here in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Twins. They lead it 7-4.
Kids, visit your friendly neighborhood Culvers and enter the Kid of the Game sweepstakes for your chance to announce play ball from the field prior to a White Sox game. Visit your local Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Culvers for details. Aaron Wasserman on with Harris on first base. You see Aaron's numbers this season: 12 games, 0-1, 1142. That's on a couple of stints here in the big leagues.
Everett 0 for 3. Takes first pitch strike. Well, we just got to get them out here and somehow pick up 4 or 5 runs in the last 2 innings.
That's it. It's the only option we have.
Harris, pretty good lead. That's chop foul. So the line on Danks is over. 6+, 4 runs earned, 8 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. For Thornton, 2/3 of an inning, giving up 2 runs on 1 hit. And Dotel works no part of an inning, faced 3 guys. He hit the first one, then threw the 3-run homer to Kubel and walked the next one.
Yeah, the first man that Aaron faces, and he's got him 0-2.
So credit Thornton with giving up 1 run and Dotel 2. For our guys in the top of the 8th inning, it'll be Quentin, Dye, and Tony. Just a little slap and swish. He's going to make that play, and that'll retire the side, but not before a big crooked number goes up on that board. And we'll go to the 8th, trailing 7-4.
From the Comcast SportsNet studios, it's a Cadillac Sports Update.
Hi again, everyone. Chris Bowden in our downtown studios reminding you to join Bill Melton and me after the game. U.S. Cellular Sox postgame live. Then Landover Sports Night with Pat Boyle, Mark Janowski, reaction on Ken Griffey Jr. coming to the South Side, and Josh Morrow with reaction from Milwaukee following the Cubs' 4-game sweep of the Brewers. But now, time to rally against that Twins bullpen. Go back to Hawk and DJ in Minneapolis.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. Carlos Quentin to lead it off against Matt Guerrero, third Twin pitcher. Takes first pitch strike. Quentin is 1 for 3, a strikeout, a single, and a pop up to second. 7-10-0 for them, 4-6-0 for us. When's that new ballpark opening?
Not soon enough.
0-10, huh? Well, it can't be soon enough for me. Get the devil out of this ballpark. There's a good way to start it. Get by him. Quentin sees him going the other way, and he will stand up with that double. Number 17 for Carlos.
Well, Carlos says, hey, we're not out of this. He gets things going. Shoots it the other direction on the high fastball, up out over the plate. All you have is the option of going up there and scoring runs. Otherwise, you lose. It's pretty simple. So maybe Carlos can inspire the men behind him to jump on board and follow his lead, starting with Jermaine.
So here's Jermaine. A walk, the strikeout, and a ground out. That's the 20th double for Carlos Quentin. Now field straight up, spread out. Come on, let's come right back and get some. Checks it up, and the count evens at 1.
No get him over situation here for Jermaine. It's all about getting him in, but thinking hard. Hit it hard, that's all. Can't have the little lazy fly balls. Getting underneath it, dipping the backside, trying to launch. Trailed by 3. You need more than one base runner. We got to go ahead and get some hits. These guys are good hitters up there.
Checks it up, good check.
Boy, Jermaine's reaction after the check almost sold as if he was going to be rung up for a strike.
Made a good pitch on him. And the count evens at 2. $31,493. And the house tonight. Ball gets through the wickets of Mauer, so Quentin in the 3rd, and a full count to Jermaine.
It's nice that he's over there and you can get him in, but you still have to think about getting a hit right here if Jermaine, but the right way. Right through the wickets, the breaking ball stays down. Mauer left that opening there and it found its way through.
That ball hit hard. Stretch. Goes back, looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes! 2-run bomb. Line drive by Jermaine, and it's a 7-6 ball game.
That's doing some hitting right there by Jermaine and Carlos Quentin. Line shots in this inning. Carlos going the other way with the pitch. That time Jermaine Dye gets a pitch. He doesn't dip that backside, doesn't get underneath it. No lazy fly ball, just a missile, just like the one he hit in Detroit over the left field fence.
So here's Tommy. Tommy 1 for 3, that 2-run homer back in the 2nd inning. Takes a curveball strike. They got the shift on for him. Checks it up. He did not go. 1-1 to count.
Maybe they've knocked him off his fastball. Quentin hit it hard, Dye hit it hard, and now it's a couple of breaking balls to Tommy.
Little softly hit ground ball right side, and that's out number 1.
Take a look at the Ford home run replay, just right there. Nice. Watch this little short, quick swing by Jermaine. Releases the top hand on the follow through. And gone in a hurry.
Yeah, Jermaine now with 25 homers and 67 driven in, and here's Alexi.
Quentin, Dye, and Tommy all with 20 or more homers.
Big hack by Alexi. Alexi has gone out to left, he's gone out to center, and he has struck out. Ground ball, softly hit. 2 down. Double-barreled activity, Reyes and Nathan. And here's Swisher. Nick has walked, grounded to first, and struck out. Outfield now backs up. No double set. As Guerrero gets first pitch strike. Big pitch right here. The 1-1.
Well, Guerrero has a real good curveball. Tight, hard, and he can take a little bit off of it and still have the good bite on it.
1-2 the count to switch. Two-run homer by Dye. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th leading. Check that. Trailing by 1. Get Chicago Sports News Nightly on Land Rover Sports Night coming up tonight after Sox postgame live. Luol Deng resigns with the Bulls, and Scotty Bowman joins the Blackhawks. Sox and Cubs highlights plus the postgame. We'll join Mark Shanowski and Pat Boyle for Land Rover Sports Night tonight after Sox postgame live only on Comcast SportsNet, fans' best friend. Wasserman. First pitch to Carlos Gomez. Gomez started off at 3-run 5th with a bunt. He's 1 for 3. Seven, 10-0 for the Twins. 6-8-0 for our Sox. Corners in close. Outfield. That breaking ball low and away. A little bit of a gap out there in left center. Big hack, fouls it down at the plate. So the count 1-2. And once again, a reminder, tomorrow it'll be Javi Vasquez on the bump against Hochevar. And that game right back here on Comcast SportsNet. On Saturday, Burley against Davies. And that game will be over Fox. And on Sunday, in the finale of that set and this 10-game road trip, Clayton Richard against Zach Greinke. Uribe. Low throw. That's what that speed does. It intimidates everybody.
Now, just when I thought it was a big break for the Sox, because Uribe had been way in trying to take the bunt away. When it got to 2 strikes, he moved back, which allows him to make this play. And then, as Hawk said, with Gomez running, you don't have time to waste. You just have to throw it. And he does, and it's short. And he's going to pick up an error.
So Wasserman will depart. Boone Logan comes on, and we'll be back.
There's Boone Logan. 2-2 with a 421 earned run average. You might say 421. Well, that's respectable. Not really. He had it down in the 1s. It's on its way up when it's at that 421. So Boone trying to find his stuff out there on that hill.
So great speed at first base, and here's Denard Span. Gomez has 21 stolen bases, but he has been caught 9 times. But you got to wonder how many of those were just pickoffs.
And you just sense right now he just wants to run. You just get that feeling he's just going to run anyway.
Span squares the bunt, takes a breaking ball high and in. Span 0 for 2 with 2 runs scored. Hit into a fielder's choice in the 5th score. Then he started off that 4-run 7th. After being down in the count 1-2, Johnny Danks, after that long delay, came back and walked him. Outfield shallow there, swung well around to the left. Uribe couple steps in on the grass, off the line at third. That's a good one. Got to hurry. We just don't execute in this building, whether it be pitching or defense. We can hit sometimes, but we just don't execute.
Well, this is 2 straight plays where the defense has felt the pressure of the speed and rushed things and made bad throws. Off balance throw by AJ. It's same thing from Uribe prior to that. And heads up with Gomez. He's thinking about scoring until he's held up there. Alexi Ramirez almost got a little lackadaisical going after the ball. Fortunately got to it and they held him up. A sacrifice bunt and he reaches on an error.
So 2 errors and we're in a whole bunch of trouble. Punto fakes the bunt, takes the ball. He is 1 for 4.
Johnny Danks really bounced back nicely in the 6th inning after giving up the 3-run home run to Morneau. 1, 2, 3. But 3 of the 4 innings here lately, the Sox just have looked bad.
Yeah, this the worst part about it is we come back here in late September on the 23rd, 4th, and 5th for 3 games. Don't mind these guys in our place. Can't stand them here.
I don't know what it is. It's just this is a place where all the bad things the Sox can find to do, they do them.
(7-6) Minnesota on top. If you're just getting home tuning in, we led it 4-0 going to the bottom of the 5th, as we did in game 2. Almost throws that one away.
Yeah, Boone just winging that one over there, letting it fly. You can see Cooper and Ozzie. Really, what are they going to do? They're sitting over there now going, hey, it's the players. They got to get it done.
That breaking ball misses. So the count 3-1. Mauer on deck and Morneau in the hole. And that's the souvenir right side. So full count to Punto. Well, there's some parts you just don't play well in. Some pitchers you just don't hit well. There is no definitive answer why, but you can just feel it. Like last inning, as I mentioned, you just get the feeling that our Sox were starting to unravel. And that's what happened. That's trouble. Gets by Wise. They're going to hold Span at third, and it's an 8-6 Minnesota lead. So the two arrows have jumped up and just bitten us right in the behind.
Punto just reaches out, makes contact like he's supposed to with the man on third. Dwayne Wise leaves all caution to the wind, says, I got to go for it. To heck with it. And a great job by Carlos Quentin backing him up.
Yeah. And a good effort by Wise.
Both guys giving everything they have out there, and at this point, it's good to see that. You leave it all out there on the field.
Ball 1 to Mauer. He's 3 for 3 tonight with an RBI and a run scored. The intimidation of speed. We talked about earlier, Carlos Gomez is a game changer. And he has certainly changed this game.
Yes.
Big time. And we're going to see him for a lot of years because he's only 22. And he's going to get better. One and two the count to Mauer.
The most important thing that the Minnesota Twins can say to Carlos Gomez is make contact. Because when he does that, we already seen in this inning, he puts pressure on the defense, and good things can happen to the Twins because of it.
Good pitch in on the fist. Well, when you trade Johan Santana, you better get something back, and they certainly did. In fact, what's been interesting to me reading the papers the last 4 days has been almost to a man. The Twins say they're a lot better now than they were last year. That's off the plate. They feel that this is a much better club than the one they had last season, and that was with Santana and Torrey Hunter.
Well, you remember a similar thing taking place once Alex Rodriguez left the Texas Rangers. Rangers all of a sudden felt, hey, you know what, we have to now not rely so much on an individual to do it all. We got to come together as a unit, and they played better after he was gone.
Payoff pitch. Just did get a piece of it. Good pitch by Boone.
I mentioned a minute ago about Gomez as you take a look at the last pitch. But Carlos Gomez, the importance of him to the Minnesota Twins, and like I said, he has to make contact. He has struck out 101 times this year in 100 games. Only walked 15 times. So that's an area that the Minnesota Twins are going to try and tweak a bit, I guarantee you.
Ground ball. Span the speed. Scores. And the infield playing in. So it's 9-6.
Going on contact. Boom. Contact. Swish. See how far back of the bag he was with Mauer hitting. And he's gone. He's too quick.
And for those who say speed does not intimidate, forget it. They're going to put Mauer on, Morneau on. Two big errors. Morneau is 1 for 4. That 3-run homer to make it a 4-3 ball game in the 5th. And then he scored a run after reaching on the fielder's choice last inning. So here's Delman Young. He's 1 for 3 with a double. Let up pitch, grabs a strike. Good changeup, good motion right there from Boone.
I don't like this defensive setup with Young up there. He's going to try and shoot it the other way, and they've got it wide open on the right side. If anybody's got to give a bit, it's got to be Alexi rather than Orlando.
Another changeup out in front of it. So Punto at third. Morneau at first. Just got it right off the end of the bat. And some of the conversations reading about some of the Twins players, for an example, Joe Nathan this morning talking about how the Twins really don't need to make a deal before the deadline was today. They said this ball club right here is good enough. He said this is a much better club than we had last season.
A lot of confidence.
Just got a piece of that change. And also he brought up an excellent point. Now losing Casilla, Alexi Casilla, is really going to hurt this ball club. But on the other side of that page, Mike Kadire, when he comes back, that's like making a deal. That fastball up high. There is Alexi Casilla. And there is in the blue jersey right there, Mike Kadire.
Boy, Joe Nathan started warming up last half inning. He's been standing up an awful long time.
The 2-2 pitch. Ball hammered in the center field. That'd be a base hit. And it's a 10-6 ball game.
Had him 0-2 and a couple of balls after some foul balls by Delman Young, and then finally he gets one right there that he can smoke.
So all of these runs are unearned. There's a breaking ball strike to Jason Kubel, who hammered out that 3-run homer last inning. There's a breaking ball, a hanger, fortunately hit foul. Still just one out. And the 0-2.
Like to say Kubel's a double play candidate. He's only grounded into 4 of them this year. He gets it down that line when he thinks he's going to be doubled up.
That's in the center field. Wayne will get it back in. Good throw. 2 down. I wish we had some research on over the years how many times we've given these guys in a big series 4 and 5 outs in an inning. A whole bunch.
Yeah, there's no question about it, especially here in this ballpark.
That's what I'm talking about here.
Oh, yeah, it's just
we're
amazing.
a different ball club against the Twins. We're a different ball club at home than we are here.
Truly amazing.
And if you're just tuning in, Johnny Danks pitched well. The biggest mistake he made, he did throw the 3-run homer to Kubel in the 5th, but the biggest mistake he made was walking Denard Span leading off the 7th. After having him 1-2 as that pitch is fouled away. Check that. It was Morneau that hit the home run off of him. But he pitched well tonight. Worked hard. That pitch low and away. But thank goodness for Gavin Floyd on this trip.
Oh, yeah. Gavin was outstanding. Had his good stuff yesterday. Outstanding, overpowering pitches. Fastball was sharp with good life to it. His curveball biting.
Yeah, he just absolutely was dominating. 3-1 to count.
Minnesota came in against left-handed starters this year with a 17-15 record.
So they will bat around here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Adam Everett will be the hitter. Adam is 0 for 4.
Not a whole lot. And the reality of what you're going to tell Boone Logan now, he's really had some struggles lately, and here he's having some control issues, walking, and then when he falls behind in counts, he has to go after the hitters. So Boone is just in a position now, if you're going to have him out there in that bullpen and put him in a game to give something else up, you got to just say, all right, work through it. We're in a hole now, so let's go.
First pitch strike to Everett. And the guy who started off this inning, Carlos Gomez, on deck. Sacks packed with Twinkies. Oh, look at the play by one, and a beautiful play by Uribe to save 2 more runs. Meanwhile, they come up with 3 unearned runs and they lead it 10-6. We're down to our last 3 outs. They got 3 unearned runs in the bottom of the 8th, and they lead it by 4. And here's the 6'4" right-hander Joe Nathan coming on. This is not a save opportunity for him. He has a save in this series, 29 for the year, and here's Juan Uribe. While making his first plate appearance, he came in defensively. Josh Fields, who was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. And very quickly the count 0-2.
Boy, that was one heck of a play by Juan Uribe.
Wasn't that something? That was a beautiful, beautiful play.
I thought that ball was in left field. For him to quickly get to that, bounced up on him, and still from the knees quickly throw a strike. It's good to see. I mean, that's the stuff you need to see in a game like this. Somebody giving everything they have, leaving it all on the field. Uribe did it on that play.
That's up high.
Take another look at this.
Watch how he makes the throw.
That's just a great play. Good job by Alexi becoming the first baseman on the other end of it. And right now, let's go ahead and take a look at the Dodge drive of the game. Jermaine Dye. It's a line shot out of the ballpark. Jermaine's 25th home run of the year, a 2-run blast.
So here's Dwayne Wise. He's 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Also a stolen base. Takes ball 1. Javi Vasquez tomorrow night against Luke Hochaver. First of that 3-game set from Kansas City. And that game will be right here on Comcast SportsNet. There's a strike. On Saturday, Mark Burley against Kyle Davies, and that game will be over Fox. And on Sunday, Clayton Richard against Zach Greinke in that game right back here on Comcast SportsNet. And then we'll have an off day on Monday, and then the Tigers come in Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for that 3-game set, and there are seats available for all 3 of those games. Then Boston comes in Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And there are seats available for that Monday game against Boston. And then we'll finish off that homestand with 3 against Kansas City, and there are seats available for all 3 of those games. So call 866-SOX-GAME and check it out.
Dwayne Wise, a man that's left it all on the field tonight, no matter what the outcome may be. And of course, he's the kind of player that better leave it all out on the field, but that's how he plays every game.
Fouls that one back. I was just checking out Carlos Gomez has led off 2 innings in this game. He led off the 5th and the 8th. And in those 2 innings, they have sent 16 men to the plate and scored 6 runs.
Last pitch. Well, that's just nasty. That's just wicked nasty. A little backdoor slider. Started outside, break it back.
So the Twins within 1 out of taking 3 out of 4 in this series. And in the first game, we were just as there it is. And when this ball is caught, this game will be over. Twice they come back from a 4-0 deficit to win 6-5 in game 2 and to win 10-6 here in game 4. Gavin Floyd was dominant yesterday, picking up our only win. So now the Sox will have to go to Kansas City tonight to get there in the wee hours of the morning and get ready to hopefully have a good 3-game set against those Royals, Feisty.
Well, that's pretty much it. There's not any other way you can look at it. You were hoping to come in here and at least take 2 from Minnesota, who's been playing good baseball. We didn't. We took 2 out of 3 in Detroit. We start this series tomorrow in Kansas City with King Griffey Jr. on board, and we need to now just say we'll sweep them.
All right now let's check out our Chevy player of the game. It is Jason Kubel, that big 3-run homer in the 7th inning. That coming off Octavio Dotel, our Chevy player of the game. So for my partner, DJ Darrin Jackson, for our director Jim Angio, our producer tonight John Walgren, our associate producer Dave Ross, also the mayor Mean Joe Group, and up here in the booth Teresa and Dan, this is a Hawk. So long, everybody.